Alright, so I am working on a project that I'm going to start shooting some videos about. And this starts with me having to purchase a 3D printer. So I have owned a 3D printer in the past. This had to be at least 10 or 15 years ago, maybe longer. It was right when the first 3D printer craze came out. I was on the bandwagon. I thought it was the greatest thing ever, and I had to get one. So I bought one, and being that was a new technology, it was difficult. You know, I think everybody was going through learning curves, and people were just putting product out just to sell stuff. And so the machine I got was pretty difficult to use. I mean, it did its job, but it had a lot of quirks. And then after owning it for like 6 months, I found out the company that I had bought it from was going out of business. So I ended up selling it like immediately because I was worried that I would never be able to get support for it or get parts for it or whatever. And since I kind of learned early on that they were going out of business, I put it back on eBay and sold it immediately, pretty much for what I had in it, and felt like I got away from that at a good time. And honestly, I wasn't really using it for anything more than just tinkering around. I didn't have any specific projects that I was using it for. I just bought it because I wanted to learn how they worked and to see if it was something I could use. And I probably could have found things to do in the future, but I just didn't have anything at the time. So, but now I do. So I have a project that I am working on that I need to prototype some product. And again, I'll talk more about this project as it gets going. It's going to be something that I sell, and it's a business that I'm working on, and it's part of my pool business. It's essentially it's a tool for the pool business and other pool businesses. So I'll get into it more and I'll shoot more videos as I go through this process. Right now we're kind of at the prototyping stage, and sorry, I'll put this in this hand as I'm driving. And so I started drawing up, you know, the objects that I need to print, and I have a friend who is going to print them. The problem is, what I'm learning really, really quickly is that during prototyping, you really need to be able to test, make changes, print, make changes, and keep moving forward, because that's just how prototyping is. Obviously, you look on a screen and something looks one way, but then when you print it or you go to use it, it's different, right? It doesn't fit right, or, you know, and this thing has a lot of different parts that have to fit together and be functional. And so yeah, I'm gonna try to do a research today, and I kind of wanted to walk through this process of how I'm researching. I figured that would be interesting for anybody who's maybe in the same boat that needs a 3D printer and wants to buy one and is going to do research. I'll just kind of go through what I've done, and like I said, I'm going to do it this morning, and then once I get it, I'll kind of unbox it with you and go through that process. So yeah, when I get to I'm kind of driving to my office. When I get there, I'm going to start doing some research. I think I'm going to start my research with, I watch a bunch of different people that use printers, and I'll kind of link them down in the description, and I'll even talk about them once I pull up their websites or their YouTube videos. I mean, my opinion is, if someone else who does it all the time is using a machine, it's probably the right machine. I mean, that's my guess. If they're talking about it on their channel and they're actually using it to print their projects, it's probably a decent machine. I'm sure the machine that they don't use that's in the corner is probably the one that's not very good. So, because some of these guys that I watch have multiple machines, and they're printing all kind of different stuff. Going through traffic right now with a car accident. People are honking. So yeah, I'll come back on once I kind of get on the web and start watching this stuff, and I'll start pulling some stuff up. So we'll go back to that next. All right, so spent a little time here doing some research, and I've settled on this kit. It's mid-range. It seems like it's really designed to kind of do what I think it's what I need. And so just after reading reviews and seeing what other people use, this company here, this whatever this is, PRUSA, seems to be a pretty reputable brand in this 3D printing stuff. So this is the one that I bought. I just bought it now. Hopefully it'll take a couple days to get it. I'm not sure. It's an EU company. Hopefully it's not coming out of Europe to ship it. Hopefully they have a US office, but I didn't really see that. So cost on it is about $800 after shipping and stuff, about $850, $860. So this is coming as a kit. So I'm gonna have to put this together. The reviews I read on putting it together said it takes, you know, maybe a day or so to put it together. I don't see that being a big issue, but I'll definitely record that and show you that process and the unboxing process. So we'll just wait now, and when it gets here, I will start shooting more video. All right, well, it has arrived. Get this stuff out of the way. See where I can put this at. So here it is. Kind of have you guys along to open this up and go through, put it together tonight. This is the PRUSA MK4S. I bought it as a kit, so I'll have to put it together. Wanted to save a few, I think it was a couple $100. So I don't mind putting something together. Plus, then I figure I'm going to learn more about it, putting it together. That when something breaks or something that has problems, I'll know more about it. So I'm always kind of under that mindset of build it yourself. That way you know it. So this is my woodworking shop. This is where this is going to live. Right now, this place is a mess. So I'll show you. This is kind of how my shop is set up. I have a big, large workshop in the top, but it's covered in stuff. I just have projects I've been working on, and honestly, I don't come down here a whole lot, and so things don't get put away. All my tools are down here, so things just get set back on the counter here, and it kind of doesn't get cleaned up. So I'm going to spend a few minutes before I get this out of the box, putting stuff away, cleaning up, getting the dust off of here, and then I'll kind of come back on once I get everything out and kind of give my review. My initial thoughts on this, it got here really quick. Shipping wasn't that expensive. It came DHL. They said 2 to 3 days. I think PRUSA took maybe 2 or 3 days to process the order, and then it shipped and got here in 2 or 3 days. So about a week from the time I ordered it. So I was pretty impressed, especially from how far away it came. So, all right, get to cleaning, and then we'll get this thing opened up. All right, that wasn't too bad, but definitely well worth it. So yeah, this shop has always served me multiple purposes, but for the next couple months, it's going to serve me as a kind of a cleaner space. I'm not going to do any woodworking or anything in here. So let's cut this open and see what we've got. Oh, I like them already. Look at this. Sent me candy. I wonder if Haribo is from that part of the world. I don't know. I don't know anything about that company, but I'll definitely eat one. Let's hope they're just regular gummies. All right, I'm full. Handbuck, flash drive, power cord. Just a little thank you letter with a cheat sheet. So these are the print sheets. So that's a steel print sheet. I got both. I got 2 of them. I got a textured one and I got just a regular one. You only normally get one, but I bought the textured one as well, which puts a texture on the bottom of the print. I'm kind of curious to how that's going to go. Not sure what that is. It's interesting. Everything's in its own little box, which is kind of cool. It's definitely well packaged. It's easy to see. A bunch of boxes inside of boxes. So let's get them all out here. And then this says frame set on it. All right. So looks like assembly instructions are online. I'm going to go get my computer because I don't want to do this off my phone. So I'm not going to bore you guys with me reading instructions. I'll kind of catch you back up as I go through this and if I run into any problems or anything interesting. All right, I am now about 2 hours in, I think. Upper carriage is done. So not too hard, but definitely time consuming. It's not, there's lots of instructions for, you know, order in which to tighten things and stuff like that, but nothing too terribly difficult. More so than anything, just standing on my feet for 2 hours, my legs are getting sore. So I'm going to keep going, but I'm going to take like a half-hour break, go sit down for a little bit, and then try to get the rest of this done. Try and do all this in one night. We'll see if that's happening. Still a lot of parts bags left. So it might not happen. This might be a multi-day adventure. So I'll come back on the next section. Well, I'm back at it again, and I'm getting really close. So I got about another 2 hours on this, but I'm down to the final pieces, really, which is just a lot of covers. And I got to do the heat bed. That's the last real big component. But let me bring you in here. I'll kind of show you where I'm at so far. And it's going really smooth, to be quite honest. I mean, there's a lot of pieces, and a lot of parts, but the instructions are easy. And I had one little part that went backwards. I had to step back a couple steps, but for the most part, everything's gone together real smooth. So you can see everything. I just finished all the wiring, all tucked away nicely underneath. So that went pretty easy. It's nice and clean. That goes all in there, and they have zip tie holders and everything. So real happy with the way it looks so far. It's not quick, but it's not difficult. So a couple more pieces. Like I said, I got to do the heat bed. That's, I think, the next thing that goes in here. And so once I'm kind of done with that, I think I'm going to be on to bigger and better things. So I'll bring you back in when I get to that point. All right, well, all assembled. Basically, it's doing a check and test to make sure everything's done correctly. And so once I get done with this, then I should be able to start doing some printing and kind of comment on the ease of use. So far, this has been great. All right, so I'm on the kind of test print number 2. First one went fine. Just did their little, I don't know where it's at. Where did I set it at? Well, I had it here. Oh, here it is. All right, so I just did, see if you can see this, just a little dog tag. This was like the first file that they had to do as a test print. It printed fine. Really happy with it. I haven't done 3D printing in a long time, and really happy with how durable this feels as a product. I think it's really going to be able to produce what I needed to produce. I'm still learning. I just downloaded the Slicer software. Still learning how to get files from the computer to the printer. I'm just kind of dropping them on this thumb drive right now. But apparently I can talk with the printer and do it all remotely. I'm just kind of running into problems with that. You know, so I can kind of bring you in here. I'll show you what that screen looks like. I mean, their software's nice. So the screen's nice. It's showing me, you know, I'm not used to that, but it tells you how much time is left and what percentage it is. And then you can do it remotely too. So I just couldn't figure out how to drop the file to it, but it is connected right now to my computer. And this is printing this file that I did on Onshape. So I just did another quick little test, a little bit bigger this time. So this is kind of cool. It's I mean, I'm guessing I can do this from anywhere in the world. Obviously, I start a print from my house or monitor it from somewhere else. So yeah. So, you know, my overall feeling, let me, oops, I can put this where I need to put it. Super happy with this purchase. So, you know, I'm going to get a lot out of it. I'll probably shoot another quick video as I get to some more real products coming off this printer, just so you can see kind of some more complicated stuff. But I need it for this business project is what this really is for. And I'll get into that in some future videos as well. So, but for at least demo and setting up, you know, I would say the setup, if you don't have 6 to 8 hours to build this thing, I would buy the one that's put together. I wouldn't say it's super difficult. I mean, I'm a handy person, but you got to be very organized. I mean, this is a 6 foot by 4 foot workspace. I needed every inch of it to get it done properly and not lose things. I mean, I still have a bunch of bolts over here that are like spares and extras that they send you, but I have my computer set up. I had a good workspace. In order to do it right, you really need a good space. And it took me every bit of 6+ hours to get to this point. And that was me moving pretty well. I only went backwards twice. Like I say, I only had, I think I had one part flipped and another one I missed a little nut. So I didn't really have to go backwards, but I definitely took my time reading the instructions and following through with it. So if you do that and you like doing this kind of stuff, it's enjoyable. And it's kind of fun to see it get plugged in and start printing stuff immediately when you're done. So, so I'll kind of end this, you know, little unboxing of this 3D printer. And really, honestly, the whole process of me getting it, I'll kind of end it with this. Very, very happy with it so far. I recommend these guys, this PRUSA. This is the MK4S. Very happy with it so far. So I definitely recommend it. And so, yeah, so I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you like, subscribe. It really helps me out. And again, my name is Doug. I'll catch you on the next one. And remember, never stop moving. I'll see you guys.